Hello everybody and welcome back. We are going to be talking about our Bluesky's next Zelda game. What it's going to be like, features, gameplay, storyline, all that. Pause this video before you hear my ideas. I want to hear your ideas down in the comments below because I want like the unbiased, like ready to go opinion of you so we can all chat about this stuff and get it going. Okay, thanks. Here we go. Rule number 1, Zelda/Hylia is the main character. She has always been the main character. This is the Legend of Zelda. I think that there is, obviously Link is our man. Let's go Link. Great. Courage. Quiet. I don't know. Inspiring because it allows the player to be the hero. I love that. But what if... What if Zelda was actually there helping Link the entire time by helping Zelda help Link in each of his timelines? I know this is dumb. It's not dumb. I like it. I think it's been done before, but here's how we're going to spice it up, okay? So you finally get to see behind the scenes and you get to see how Zelda helps Link, helps Zelda, helps save Hyrule in her way, like giving her the credit finally that the legend has been named after, right? I think that Hylia, in this way, you could be, in the same way you could change costumes, or other ways, I don't quite know how it works, but you could change which Zelda you're going to be, and that would influence how your fighting style, your play style, your weapons, your items, stuff like that. It would also open the door for a co-op mode for you and a friend or a sibling, because everyone is tired of being unplugged controller as Navi, right? Nobody likes it. So, you could be Sheik and you could show up in Wind Waker and help Tetra, right? That would make sense in this timeline. You could be Breath of the Wild Zelda and show up in Spirit Tracks and help that Zelda, right? There's so many options because every Legend of Zelda has always had a Zelda, more or less. There's maidens, I get that, I know. You could be a maiden if you want, I don't know. And beyond that, you would be able to level up or upgrade or find new abilities based on past trainers, maybe like Impa, past trainers of Zelda that would increase your abilities. And so these would kind of play out like the spirit of the Hero of Time teaching Wolf Link and Twilight Princess new moves and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously it makes sense, right? It's such a good idea. Sometimes the easiest ideas are the best ones. This would be a 3D Zelda game. It would take lessons it learned from Echoes of Wisdom, finally putting Zelda as the main character, but, amping that up, Breath of the Wild style. Echoes of Wisdom was a good trial run for the audience to understand a new type of playing Zelda, a more cozy approach, a little bit more simplified controls and gameplay. That's great. All that is great. And it just walks so the next Zelda about Zelda can run. Like I said, you'd be able to team up with another Zelda. You could co-op this, but not 1 or 2, not 3 or 4. There'd just be you and another, and you guys could have 2 Zeldas, play through the timelines, play through dungeons, solve some of the problems that are going on that Zelda does help with, or has helped with in the past, but obviously solved them all by herself. Getting Ganon tried before the king and Ocarina of Time and all that stuff. You'd also help each other solve puzzles. You wouldn't have to have a second person to solve the things if you just want to play by yourself, but if you did, there might be an easier way to do it, or bonus dungeons, a la Portal 2, perhaps? Could be nice. Portal 2 had a whole separate campaign for co-op than the first, and it was really good. They were both awesome and kind of flew under the radar, but super good. This would reset the entire timeline. It would completely wash it. I think that Nintendo never really wanted to make a timeline that would work for its... I don't think they really wanted to make a timeline, and yet fans were wondering, and so they're like, okay, fine, we'll do it. And so by doing this, they give themselves the freedom to do whatever they want in the timeline, because Zelda or Hylia have always been there behind the scenes. This lets them jump art styles, jump storylines, jump like the death of the hero, like victory of the hero, failure of the hero, and bridge all these other timelines, which is really liberating, I think, for them. It would also open the doors for the live action movie to eventually shift into an animation or an animated video, so we can have a super cool Super Smash Brothers movie like Avengers. Anybody still up for that? I am. I think it would work. I think it would work really well. Nintendo for a long time has been hinting that their games build on each other, and it's happy to jump franchises at this point. I think you can see it in Mario Kart to Mario Kart World's development, where it goes from a small track to a whole world. I kind of see this being like Sonic Generations, but bigger. You could even go from maybe all the Hyrules like clash and overlay, and you have to travel to this one, travel to that one. This town's from Wind Waker, this town's from Twilight Princess, and you get to figure out a path through them all of your own accord. I think that we see it also in Tears of the Kingdom when Link can jump through the environment. I feel like the next progression of that was Donkey Kong Bonanza, where you can now destroy the entire environment. Nintendo mapped the entire world so you can move up and down through it, laterally, so that later you could destroy it everywhere. It just feels like the next big thing. Nintendo seems to be trying to top themselves and top themselves and top themselves. And so far, I think it's doing okay. There's some rough patches. But I think for the next Zelda game, if we can make it big, it would work out really well for longtime fans, new fans, be very approachable, especially with 2-player. And yeah, I think that it wipes the slate. Like, in summary, approachable for new players and old-time fans. Old fans get the fan service of old games, and, the clean slate. Nintendo gets a clean slate for all their games and movies and whatever. And then finally we're returning like the mainline theme to The Legend of Zelda, not The Legend of Link, which is fine. Zelda needs her time in the starlight, in the spotlight, and this is how they're going to do it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on my thoughts. I want to know your thoughts. What would you like to see in your next Zelda game? And yeah, we are done. Okay, thanks everybody. Catch you next one.